On a dark night, a scream was heard that no one had ever heard before. Something happened here, and no one dared to speak of it since that day. What if I told you the killer who terrifies you today once lived among us? In a small village called Texarkana, located between Texas and Arkansas, USA, there was a young man named Jimmy Hollis, 25 years old, and a young woman named Mary Jane, 19 years old. They went out to watch a movie at the cinema. After the movie, they got into the car to return to Mary's house and stopped at a quiet spot to talk for a while. After about 10 minutes, a strange man wearing a white mask appeared, shining a flashlight at them and pointing a gun. The man stood next to Jimmy and calmly said, "I don't want to kill you, my friend. Just do what I tell you without arguing." The criminal forced Jimmy to remove his pants, then hit him twice on the head with enough force to fracture his skull, causing him to lose consciousness. He then tried to attack Mary and steal her handbag. Mary improvised and told him they had no money, but he hit her and knocked her to the ground. Then he said, "Run!" Mary tried to escape, but her high heels slowed her down. The attacker chased her and hit her again, but she survived when Jimmy started regaining consciousness and managed to reach the car, forcing the man to flee. Jimmy and Mary were taken to the hospital and stayed there for more than 12 days due to Jimmy's severe head injury. After this incident, what would later be called the Phantom Killer case began in Texarkana, where crimes and robberies were widespread. On the morning of March 24, the bodies of Richard Algraval, 29, and Polly Ann, 17, were found, killed inside an Oldsmobile on a street known as Lover's Lane. Both victims had been shot with a .32 caliber Colt pistol, and Richard's belongings had been stolen. 3 weeks later, on April 14, the bodies of Betty Booker, 15, and Paul Martin, 16, were found, killed with the same type of pistol. This caused extreme fear among the town's residents, who began taking unusual precautions, such as staying in hotels, buying weapons, and putting up barriers around their homes. The Texarkana Gazette newspaper dubbed the criminal the Phantom Killer. Detective Tillman Johnson noted that residents were constantly calling the police about any unusual movement. Later, at Virgil Stax's farm, he was shot with a .22 caliber pistol and killed, while his wife Katie survived with serious injuries. Although the weapon differed from previous crimes, the police included this incident in the Phantom Killer case. Investigations focused on two main suspects: H.B. Duty, a college student who left a suicide note claiming the murders. Lee Sweeney, a former soldier whose criminal activities with stolen cars and confessions from his wife, Peggy Sweeney, suggested he was the real killer. Detective Max Duck noted that every Phantom Killer attack involved a stolen car, later abandoned in a deserted area. Following this lead, police found a car reported stolen on June 28, left in a downtown garage. The investigation led to Peggy Sweeney, 21, Lee Sweeney's new wife. She told police her husband committed all the murders. One day before the Betty and Martin murders, she and Lee were in a car drinking. He left for about an hour, and she heard gunshots. When he returned, he seemed rushed. Later, she gave a second, more detailed account. Her husband suggested robbing someone. The victims were in that car, and he killed Paul and then took Betty into the woods. Police found that even though Peggy gave two different accounts, the details she provided were accurate, including that Lee threw his book toward the trees before killing Paul, the very book Detective Presley found. Lee Sweeney was arrested after attempting to sell a stolen car. During interrogation, a truth serum caused complications, leaving him in a coma. Peggy served a short prison term for car theft and was later released. Lee was sentenced to life for repeated car thefts, but was released in 1973. He lived until 1994, passing away in a nursing home. Lee Sweeney was arrested after attempting to sell a stolen car. During interrogation, a truth serum caused complications, leaving him in a coma. Peggy served a short prison term for car theft and was later released. Lee was sentenced to life for repeated car thefts, but was released in 1973. He lived until 1994, passing away in a nursing home. In the end, the story remains unsolved, and the Phantom Killer is still a mystery to this day. Now tell me in the comments, who do you think the real killer was? Was it one person or more? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more dark and mysterious stories.